Well, it's fair to say we are both absolutely gutted right now. Got an email through from easyjet. They've cancelled our flight for the morning. It's 3:26, Monday afternoon. I am sat outside Anna's uni. She's just texted me like 15 minutes ago to say that her exam was done. She's ready to be picked up. I was waiting around the corner, drinking a Coke Zero from McDonald's, so I've got here much quicker than she was expecting. But she is on her way out. My suitcase is in the boot. Her suitcase is in the boot. We are driving straight to a Premier Inn next to Luton Airport, where we should be there before 5 o'clock, grab a little something to eat, and then have the earliest night in history, because tomorrow morning we need to be up at about 4:30 a.m. because we're catching the first flight to Paris on Tuesday morning, where we're then going to hire a car, drive to Disneyland and have a lovely day. All because, well, I explained it all in the video the other day. If you want to know why we're going, this is the video for you to watch. This video is all about how we got there. And here is the lady herself. How was your exam?
All right, good. Fine.
She's just told me. I walked over to the uni to walk back over here with her, just to prep her for the fact the camera was going to be on more than anything. And she just told me it was easy. It was really good. But now you're doing your normal response on video.
Well, I nearly missed it.
Despite getting to... What time did the exam start?
2.
And you left home at 7:45 this morning?
10 to, yeah.
And you nearly missed it?
Well, I had anxiety and had to visit the bathroom.
You were pooping. You nearly missed the exam because you were having a poo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, because I came out and I couldn't find my friends. I didn't know where because they were with me, but they had left. And then I went into the atrium and they were nowhere. So I messaged them, found them, and then I went, oh, hold on a minute, because you're only allowed to take in water.
Right.
And I take in pop, and I only had pop. But I did take water with me, but I couldn't find my water bottle. So I went to find it again, come back, and the woman was like, oh, I've walked around twice. I was like, I was literally next to the steps. And then we went up, and then they put me in a separate room again. I've told them I don't need a separate room, I just need to be put at the back. Because
of her dyslexia. Not because she doesn't mix well with others. Well, I think that probably is part of it.
No, so I was out.
But it went well. That's the important thing.
I did. The thing is, because we did a mock on Friday, and there's only so many things you can ask, we did it most on Friday.
That sounds like a teacher who knows what they're doing. Excellent stuff. So, you're out of uni. It's exactly 3:30. My sat-nav is telling me we should be pulling into the hotel car park at 4:47.
What hotel would that be then?
That would be the Premier Inn at Luton Airport, because tomorrow morning we are flying to Paris to go to Disneyland, to Disneyland, to Disneyland.
Oh, we know. I think, like, don't be silly. We're going to watch Frozen.
We can do that tonight, but we do need an early night.
I know, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, we're up at 4. Well, I say we're up at 4:30. We need to be leaving the hotel at 4:30. We're up at mega o'clock. Well, it took us about an hour longer than planned because Anna made us stop in Peterborough to buy some pyjamas. She's ready to go though. And for those of you who watch Parks and Recreation, which I know I reference too much on this channel, we all know Ron Swanson likes to shop at Food and Stuff, a place where you can buy food and stuff. Over there is a place called Food Warehouse. I want to go there. And there is a plane taking off because we are at the Premier Inn right next to the airport. Look how excited this one is.
I love planes.
Can't see it. There it is. There's the plane. When was the last time you went on an aeroplane?
20 years ago.
For me it's about 10. We're very excited. In the very unlikely event you've not watched our channel before and not familiar with a Premier Inn hotel room, this is a Premier Inn hotel room, but more interesting by the fact that just here we have this big bay window, which over there is where the planes are taking off. So I think Anna's going to take that chair, turn it round, look at the window and just watch planes while I sleep, because I don't know if we've mentioned it before, Anna likes an aeroplane. Well, it's fair to say we are both absolutely gutted right now. We'd been in here, we'd been in this room 20 minutes, do you reckon? Got an email through from easyjet. They've cancelled our flight for the morning. They offered to push it back a day, which doesn't work for us at all because Andy is back from respite on Wednesday, so if we're flying Wednesday morning, then we'd have to come straight back. And it doesn't affect the fact that obviously we've got a hotel booked in France for tomorrow, we had a hire car booked in France for tomorrow, so we've got a refund on our flights. I've managed to cancel the hotel and get a refund. The hire car, it looks like I'm just going to have to eat that cost. I've spent £130 to hire a car. I could claim it on my annual travel insurance policy, but the excess on that is £100. So by the time I've gone through the faff of doing that, I'm only going to get 30 quid back. Park tickets are valid any day for the foreseeable, for like the next 6 months or so. So they're not a big deal. Obviously, we've got the cost of this place, but we're going to use this. We're going to sleep here tonight anyway. We're here now. We're going to go get some food in the restaurant and think about what we're going to do. If we're as... She's saying go home. She's gutted. I'm gutted. There is a chance we're just crazy enough to have our dinner, have 2 or 3 hours sleep here, and then drive down to Folkestone and get the Eurotunnel. I'm going to look into how much that's going to cost. But I really want to go to Disney tomorrow. And I want to take Anna to Disney tomorrow. Do you want to go to Disney tomorrow? She had her ears on. But flying isn't going to happen, that's done. It's just whether or not we can salvage anything from the trip now, or whether we look to just do another trip next year. The thing is, even with the Disney tickets, I say they're usable on another day, but they're only valid for the next 6 months. We're going back with the kids in May anyway, so we can't use them then. Anna goes back into uni mode again in January, so realistically, if we don't use the Disney tickets tomorrow, they're a write-off too. We're going to go and have dinner and think about what we're going to do.
I think we have a solution. It's a really dumb solution. I'll explain more in a little while, but first, gammon and egg.
So, the ridiculous plan. This trip has been doomed since the start. Because I haven't been mentioning it on the vlog, I haven't told you about the fact this is the second thing that's been cancelled for this trip. Friday night. So we were originally going to be flying into Charles de Gaulle and then getting the train from there to Disney, but we got an email, or I got an email through on Friday night saying that train had been cancelled because of a strike. So it's at that point, because we were originally going to fly back on Tuesday night as well, so fly out first thing Tuesday, fly back at the end of Tuesday and do the train, because the train transfer is only like 10 minutes, and as soon as we couldn't get the train transfer anymore, it became unrealistic to do the flying all in one day, so I changed the flights to make them Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, added the hotel, added the hire car. All this happened like Saturday morning in a complete flustered panic. So that was thing number 1 that went wrong. Obviously this is thing number 2 that's gone wrong, but we are not giving up. We want to go to Disney at Christmas, and this might be the only opportunity we ever get this time next year. Anna will have a job. We won't be able to just go gallivanting places. So yeah, we've now booked into a second Premier Inn. We can't, we're in this one now. We'll try and claim it back on the insurance. I think the fact that we've used it, albeit for 20 minutes, probably means we won't get the money back for this room. But we've now booked into the Premier Inn at Folkestone for tonight, which is 2 hours away from where we are. So it is 7:30 now. We're going to head off, drive there. So we should be there by about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Go to sleep for a bit, because we're then on the Eurotunnel at like 5:30 tomorrow morning, which will get us to Calais for about 7:20ish, I think. It's then a 3-hour drive to Disney from there, so we could, we'll have at least one stop in that. We could realistically be at Disney by about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, so a little bit earlier than we probably would have been on the original plan. But we're not staying in France tomorrow. We're also booked on the 1 AM Eurotunnel to return home, and we're back in that same Folkestone Premier Inn again tomorrow night. So we're not checking out. We've got 2 nights booked in there. So we're gonna do Disneyland Paris in one day, bookended with 2 hotels in England. That can't go wrong a third time, surely. I need to repack my suitcase. Well, it's now 9:30. We've made it down to Folkestone, but just before we get to the hotel, it's just occurred to me that because I wasn't planning on driving in France, I don't have my driving in France kit. So the high-vis jackets, the red triangle, all that stuff that you need. If I wait until the morning to buy it before we get on the train, then we're going to have to get there super early to give us time to do that. So I'm hoping this service station just before the hotel will sell them. But it doesn't look very open. It's only 9:30. The thing I need is just there. I can see it but they're closed. You are? Shuts at 8 p.m. What kind of service station closes at 8 p.m?
It says 24. It says stop 24 over there.
Yeah, that's the irony. The service station is called Stop 24. Everywhere's closed, unless we want a Subway or a KFC, neither of which are helpful. We might not be able to tell because it looks exactly the same as when we left
Well, I'm wet. So
2.5 hours ago in Luton, but we are now in the Premier Inn in Folkestone. I'm going to take a seat back where I was before.
Ah.
When we checked into the other room, we said, this is weird, it's got a weird chair in there and there's a shower and no bath. And then we come to this one and it's absolutely identical.
So that light wasn't there.
Yeah, so I don't remember how much of what the plan is I told you at the other place. So just a recap on the plan as it stands currently. And this is still subject to change because we have discovered on the way here, Anna's been doing a lot of Googling and a lot of reading about what's going on in France and what caused our flight to be cancelled. So it looks like our flight was cancelled because of the national strikes that are going on in France. So the same thing that caused the train to be cancelled back on Friday when I originally changed the plans. So the strikes have struck again and that's why the flights were cancelled. So if we'd have Googled that and found that out before we set off, we might not have lunged straight into a third mode of transport, which could also very much be affected by the strikes in two possible ways. Way number one, we just drove past the Eurotunnel terminal and oh my word, I've never seen queues like it.
I've never seen it like that. Well, I've only been twice, but
one time it was really busy and it took us like an hour and a half. That queue was so much bigger than that. So we might not even get to France.
It was like 4 lines of lorries. So.
If we make it to France in the morning, then
let's not hit the 391 mile traffic jam.
They set a record for a traffic jam because none of the public transport is running, so the roads are bad. So if we make it to France, we've then got to hope that we can make it all the way to Disneyland without hitting a huge traffic jam. That's a 3-hour drive on a good day. The one thing that I think we've got going in our favour is it is toll roads the majority of the way, and I do wonder if trains not running will directly affect the toll roads. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
Well, their traffic, they will pay on your pay stations, won't they? Won't people there?
So the plan, as it stands right now, and like I say, very much subject to change. It's 10 p.m. now. We are due to be on the Eurotunnel at, I forget the time. Hold on, let's get the exact times.
5:20 something.
It better not be. I was hoping it was like 7.
No, we'll get there for 7.
Hold on. So we're on the Eurotunnel at 5:45 in the morning, which gets us into France at 7:20 with the time change taken into account. So we need to be there by about 4:50, 5 o'clock. So
Unless we get a tax.
Yeah, we need to be leaving here probably about 4:30, 4:45ish, probably nearer 4:30. So we're looking at like a 3:30 a.m. get up, which is in 5.5 hours. And then that gets us into France at 7:20, which, if traffic is good, gets us to Disney for about 11. Which is awesome, because that's earlier than we were going to be there ordinarily. And we then need to be back in Calais at 1:22 a.m. Well, 1:22 a.m. is when we're getting the train home, which gets us back to the UK at,
just to 1.
At 12:57 tomorrow morning. So, again, taking into account time to check in and stuff, we basically need to be back in Calais by midnight, which means if traffic is good, we need to be leaving Disney by about 9 p.m. Now, the park closes at 7 tomorrow, so that means they'll have the illuminations and stuff, should all finish at 7 o'clock. We should, in theory, unless we dawdle in the Disney Village, which we might, if traffic is fine, we probably will. If we had traffic problems earlier in the day, we'll probably just hit the road straight away, but I'd like to think we should be able to get back to Calais for midnight, and then back in this room again for about 1:20. Where
this exact room?
Yeah, we've booked in for 2 nights, so we'll then stay here and leave at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Wednesday morning to get back home, which is about a 3-hour drive from here. We don't have to go via Luton.
But it could all change.
That should get us home well in time for Andy to be home from school at 3:30. So, fingers crossed, despite disaster and disappointment earlier on, as it stands right now, we should get a day at Disneyland. We are going to be tired, but I think a combination of fun and coffee will make it all okay. Exactly. So, I am going to go and grab Anna's purse out the car, because she left it in the car.
It's raining.
When I get back, I expect you to be asleep in bed, because that's where I will be within 10 minutes getting back in the room, because
well, I've got to wash.
I've got to get up at 3:30 and then drive 3 hours.
And I don't have to either.
You can sleep for 3 hours while I'm driving. Yeah, I need you to keep me awake.
Exactly.
We will see you tomorrow, hopefully, with an excitable Disneyland Paris in a day vlog. It could be, look, we had even worse luck over in France. Who knows? We'll see you tomorrow.